Hey guys, welcome back. But if you're new here, my name is Marissa. I am a certified personal trainer and registered dietitian. And if you want to learn all about the miracle weight loss drugs celebrities are gatekeeping that's causing a shortage for type 2 diabetic, boy, are you in for it. Stay tuned. Semaglutide, a sneaky injectable medication commonly used under brand names Ozempic, Rybelsus, and Wegovy. Semaglutide was originally brought to market by Novo Nordisk, a Danish pharmaceutical company, about 15 years ago to help type 2 diabetics manage their blood sugar, A1C, and achieve weight loss. Much more recently, it has been studied in the overweight and obese population, showing 15% reduction in body weight when accompanied by lifestyle interventions, aka nutrition and exercise. In 2021, it was approved by the FDA for the treatment of overweight and obesity. Semaglutide is something called a GLP-1 agonist. GLP-1 is a hormone released in the intestine. It comes out to play when we eat food and tells our pancreas to release insulin and decrease glucagon. I'm not going to get too sciencey in this video. There are other channels for that, but what you really need to know is the increase of insulin and decrease of glucagon is what causes our blood sugar to lower. Semaglutide mimics GLP-1's role in the body, which is why it's effective for type 2 diabetes, where the pancreas doesn't produce enough insulin in response to glucose or produces no insulin at all. So yes, semaglutide lowers blood sugar after a meal. But how does that relate to weight loss? Well, it slows gastric emptying, the process of food leaving the stomach to enter the small intestines. If food sits in the stomach longer, you feel full longer, which can help you eat less calories in a day. There are other ways to do this through nutrition without medications, by the way. And that's something I help my clients gain an understanding of so they don't need things like semaglutide. Lastly, it acts on the hypothalamus of the brain because yes, the gut and brain are connected to suppress your appetite. So it suppresses your appetite, makes you feel full longer and faster after you do have an appetite, and it can make you nauseous. To me, that just sounds like a recipe for disordered eating and malnutrition. I thought about listing all of the side effects, but why would I do that when the Ozempic advertisement does it for me? Now, just so we're clear, Ozempic and Wegovy are the same thing. They're just branded differently. I am also going to read off some of the side effects and warnings that are straight from the Wegovy website, just so we can see the similarities and compare the two. First off, there is a risk of thyroid C-cell tumors. It says patients should be further evaluated if serum calcitonin is measured and found to be elevated, or thyroid nodules are noted on physical examination or neck imaging. Acute pancreatitis, including fatal and non-fatal hemorrhagic or necrotizing pancreatitis, has been observed in patients treated with GLP-1 receptor agonists, including semaglutide. Acute pancreatitis was observed in patients treated with Wegovy in clinical trials. That's a big one. And acute gallbladder disease, treatment with Wegovy was associated with an increased cholelithiasis and cholecystitis, which chole, C-H-O-L-E, is associated with the gallbladder, so that's what that means. Hypoglycemia. Wegovy lowers blood sugar and can cause hypoglycemia. In a trial of adult patients with type 2 diabetes, hypoglycemia was reported in 6.2% of Wegovy patients versus 2.5% of placebo patients. Acute kidney injury. There have been post-marketing reports of AKIs and worsening of chronic renal failure, which in some cases requires hemodialysis in patients treated with semaglutide. Hypersensitivity reactions. Some people have anaphylaxis when using Wegovy. Diabetic retinopathy complications in patients with type 2 diabetes. Diabetic retinopathy was reported by 4.0% of Wegovy patients, which affects the eyes. Mean increase in resting heart rate of 1 to 4 beats per minute, which may not seem like a lot, but that is putting a little bit more stress on the body. Suicidal behavior and ideation have been reported in clinical trials, so it does affect chemicals in your brain. That is why I was saying before, the brain and gut are very connected. So if you are taking a medication for your GI system. It is going to affect your brain in one way or another. The positive effect of Wegovy is it helps to control hunger and suppress your appetite, and that's why people want to take it, but it can also have negative effects. Please be careful. Please talk to a doctor about this, and don't be shy when asking them questions about this and how it could actually pertain to you, and be transparent about what you've been going through up until this point. Anything that you're worried about when starting a new medication. Adverse reaction greater than 5% include nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, constipation, abdominal pain, headache, fatigue, dyspepsia, dizziness, abdominal distension, irritation. I'm gonna have to look that up. Hypoglycemia in patients with type 2 diabetes, flatulence, gastroenteritis, GERD, and nasopharyngitis. And there are drug interactions. Your doctor should know this. If he's prescribing you this, he should also know what other medications you're on and know what medications not to prescribe you if you are on Wegovy. Medications are going to interact with different medications and herbs, so you do have to be very careful when you are getting on a new med. If you take this while you're pregnant, it can cause fetal harm. It says to discontinue use of Wegovy if you do realize you are pregnant. And of course, don't use this if you're a child. Still sound like a good idea for losing weight? After all that we've covered so far, you may be wondering, how much does this medication cost? For someone that actually qualifies for semaglutide and has insurance that covers it, or if you get a generic version, it can put you in the hundreds of dollars per month category. However, let's say you have no insurance and no pre-existing medical conditions. I pulled a quote from GoodRx that says, Wegovy hit the market in June at a list price of $1,350 and cash price of about $1,627 for a 28-day supply. That's less than a month. It's crazy. The price tag is roughly on par with other injectable medications, but it does say, as of the time that that article was written, that Wegovy doesn't have a generic equivalent. But I was listening to some podcasts and a doctor said that there was like semaglutide that is cheaper, or a generic semaglutide that is cheaper than the branded Wegovy weight loss drug. So I don't know if that's accurate or not. You know who can afford to blow over $1,000 a month on weight loss meds? Celebrities. An article published by People magazine and updated just this week lists celebrities who have admitted to taking semaglutide as well as their thoughts on it. Names like Meghan McCain, Patti Stanger, Chelsea Handler, all people I've literally never heard of in my life. People are speculating that the Kardashians are using it, especially after noticing Kim and Khloe's weight loss over the past year. And then there's this tweet by Elon Musk. Whether or not this tweet was a joke, it raises awareness for the drug, inherently making it gain popularity, which increases the chance that people will get on it without doing proper research. And remember the shilling of those cryptocurrencies by influencers and celebrities last year? This is practically the same thing. Now semaglutide has become so popular that there's a national shortage. And you know who suffers from this shortage? Not the celebs who have access to top-of-the-line nutrition, personal trainers, and other weight loss tactics. No, this affects type 2 diabetics that now have to stop taking Ozempic. And you want to know what happens when you stop using Ozempic as a type 2 diabetic? It can increase risk of stroke, heart attack, and kidney disease. Not to mention the intense stress someone may feel as a result of this shortage that could end them up in the hospital alone. Not to mention, a study showed people who got off the medication regained 2/3 of the weight they lost. But can't you hypothetically be on semaglutide forever to prevent that? As of now, we have no long-term studies on the effects of semaglutide and how that may impact overall health if someone did take it for life. So it's definitely not recommended. Should you take this drug as a means for weight loss if you're just looking to shed a few pounds? Absolutely not. This is not a quick fix solution to weight loss, nor is it a substitution for healthy lifestyle changes. To drive this point home, remember that study participants had to follow a nutrition plan and exercise program while taking semaglutide to achieve the results. I really wish Ozempic stayed Ozempic for the treatment of type 2 diabetes and didn't become this mainstream weight loss tactic. The truth is, there is so much you can do with nutrition and exercise to achieve a weight loss goal, and a professional can cost much less than a monthly supply of this drug. I really wanted to take time in this video to raise awareness of what this drug actually is and how it's being used today. I definitely recommend you check out the TikTok I made about this. The whole reason that sparked this video in the first place was because my friend and I walked into a Crunch Fitness filled with just college students. The entire demographic, it was a college town up in Gainesville. Yes, it's the Gainesville Crunch. We walked in and I saw this board showing what I thought was nutrition education, and I thought, oh cool, that they are giving nutrition education to gym goers and bringing awareness to certain vitamins and minerals. But then when we looked closer, my friend pulled out a pamphlet. I actually have it here. I'm gonna grab it. Okay, I don't have it. Anyway, she pulled out a pamphlet and said, holy crap, this is semaglutide. They're actually promoting semaglutide to a bunch of college students. So we found the store in the mall that was selling injections. It was super sketchy in there. There was one person on staff. She would take someone behind this curtain. 5 minutes later, they'd come back out. I never heard a faucet running, her like washing her hands. I didn't hear any of that in the like 30 minutes that we were standing in line. These quick fix weight loss tactics are always gonna be around. It's up to you to be informed about them and not make uninformed decisions with your health. But that is also what I'm here for. That is why I made this video. I did not know that much about semaglutide before I started doing research for this video, and I'm really glad that as a provider, I now know exactly how it works, all of the side effects, all of the implications, why someone would actually benefit from this drug, so I can continue to educate my clients further if this is something that they're thinking about taking or if they've taken in the past. If you are looking for help with your nutrition and your fitness and want a professional opinion, you can apply to work with me on my website. We will set up a 15-minute free consultation so I can get to know more about you and help you down your path to success. But really, I do these calls to make sure that we vibe. I wanna make sure that you enjoy your time with me and you feel like you could get the value that you're really looking for with me. Go listen to my podcast. I just had a 4th episode go up on the 3 ways to avoid burnout. I am really passionate about helping you resolve stress and help your body fight stress really well so that you can live an overall healthier life and have better digestion and hormone balance. So if any of that resonates with you, definitely hit the subscribe button and the like button if you learned a lot during this video. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, weekend, night, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you later.